I figured out which Cedar Fair parks will be getting new coasters for 2023, and you don't want to miss my predictions. Cedar Fair is only opening one coaster in 2022 after opening 0 in 2021. That is a huge problem for them since they have a ton of parks due for coasters for 2023. In a normal year, Cedar Fair opens 2 to 3 coasters at some of their parks, but I think 2023 will bring at least 3, maybe even 4 coasters, though I think they won't be as expensive as the chain normally goes. The first park I predict will open a new coaster is Dorney Park. This Pennsylvania park competes with some of the biggest parks in the country like Hershey Park and Six Flags Great Adventure. Yet it hasn't gotten something new in 10 years. Their most recent coaster edition, Stinger in 2012, has since been removed, and they really need a good wooden coaster that isn't close to 100 years old. Dorney Park was rumored to get a gravity group shuttle coaster for the 2021 season, and I predict this will come for 2023. It's a perfect addition for the park and fits right in their budget. Then we have Cedar Point. I'm gonna make a really bold prediction here, and I could be wrong, but I don't think Cedar Point will get a coaster in 2023. Almost everyone has been predicting a new coaster coming to this park soon, but here's why I think they'll have to wait another year for their next thrill machine. Cedar Point is the roller coaster capital of the world, and their most recent coaster, Steel Vengeance, is the best one in the world. The Cedar Fair chain has a lot of other parks due for coasters, and I think they'll wait another year before giving Cedar Point a new toy. Cedar Fair did something similar in 2007 after they opened Maverick at Cedar Point. The company was in financial trouble over the next few years, and Cedar Point didn't get a new coaster until 2013. The chain took a 6-year break from Cedar Point so they could build up some of their other parks, especially the newly acquired Paramount parks. This is why I think the chain will wait 6 years again from the last coaster before getting something new in 2024. Then you have Michigan's Adventure and Worlds of Fun. None of these parks are getting new coasters in 2023, especially not if Dorney Park, which is the highest bottom tier park, is already getting a coaster this year. I hope the chain gives these parks new coasters eventually, but I don't think it will be something that happens in the next few years. Next up is Knott's Berry Farm. I honestly don't think this park will get a new coaster in 2023, but it's still a very likely possibility. This park is kind of landlocked and does really well for the chain already. It's almost fully developed, and I don't think the chain would spend a year like 2023 with so many of the parks and coasters giving one to a park that could definitely go without it. There were rumors of a Giga coaster coming to Knott's, and I could see that as something Cedar Fair considers down the road, but I doubt it'll happen for 2023. In 2019, Cedar Fair opened a brand new Mack multi-launch coaster at Carowinds. Cedar Fair loves this park, and 2023 would mark 4 years since their latest coaster. This park usually gets massive new coasters every 4 to 5 years, so 2023 definitely fits their timetable. I think if Carowinds gets a coaster in 2023, it'll be on their cheaper side, maybe a crazy RMC or something like that. However, if they have to wait until 2024 for a new thrill machine, I predict it'll be a lot more expensive. I'd rather them get an RMC and make it one of the best in the world. It would give this park a 1-2 punch that's absolutely insane with Ferry 325 and an insane RMC. Cedar Fair didn't seem to like working with RMC, but I hope they can work out their issues and get together for another few projects. Speaking of RMC, Kings Island could use an RMC. They just got Orion in 2020, so they probably aren't due for a coaster just yet, but it's possible. This park usually gets coasters as often as Cedar Point though, so if Cedar Point has to wait until 2024, this park may have to wait a full 5 years between Orion in 2020 and their new coaster in 2025. This park also may have a Gerslar Infinity in their future, or maybe a B&M Surf. And while I don't think 2023 will be their year, it's still a high possibility. Valley Fair. This is one of those sad stories. The park really needs a roller coaster, and their last one was a family coaster in 2011. Over 10 years without a coaster. This park has so many different options it could use, from the B&M Invert to the RMC Raptor. Anything this park can get, they'd be happy with. Even a mini 4D free spin. Could Valley Fair be getting a coaster in 2023? Sadly, I don't think so, since another bottom tier park will be getting a new coaster already this year. But if Dorney Park's coaster actually happens, it's a sign Cedar Fair will look to give their smaller parks something small, and in that case, I think Valley Fair will open a smaller scale new coaster in 2024 or 2025. Hopefully it's an RMC Raptor clone, because that's probably the best coaster you can get for under $10 million. Then there's California's Great America. No new coaster at this park since 2018. That is a 5-year gap in 2023. I think this park will get a new coaster, and it may be the best coaster that opens in the chain during the 2023 season. This park needs a B&M, really a B&M hyper. Maybe Cedar Fair will open their hearts and bank accounts and give this park a B&M hyper for 2023. But if not, maybe they can give them a mini dive coaster similar to the one Fiesta Texas has for 2022. Or maybe they could get a launch B&M wing coaster similar to Thunderbird at Holiday World. This park is definitely one of the most likely to open a new coaster in 2023. And if it isn't a B&M, this park will be the perfect testing grounds for the first SNS Access coaster in the US. Just saying. King's Dominion. What a roller coaster this park has been through. They need a replacement for Volcano, but they already have a new 2022 coaster, so I don't think 2023 will be their year, even though the 2022 coaster is a mini 4D free spin. This park is also the only Cedar Fair park to get a new coaster during the last 2 years from the Cedar Fair chain, so I don't think they'll get another coaster just 1 year later. After all, it's King's Dominion. Tumbalai was originally intended for 2021 though, and Volcano has already been gone for too long, which is why I think King's Dominion will open a massive new coaster for the 2024 season. 2023 just wouldn't make sense. Then we have the most likely new 2023 coaster, but also the most interesting. This is Canada's Wonderland. This park needs a new coaster ASAP to get them back to pre-pandemic attendance and revenue numbers. They were closed longer than any other Cedar Fair park throughout 2020, and I think they were even closed a little in 2021. There are already markers showing up around this park, and I think they will get a new launched family coaster, possibly from Intamin, but more likely from Mack. Universal's family launch coaster really hit it off, and I think we will see a lot more pop-up all around. Dollywood seems to be getting something similar to this, and I think it'll be a perfect fit for Canada's Wonderland. No, it's not an RMC, but still a great addition to the park. But which Six Flags parks are getting new coasters for 2023? Click here to find out and see which park might get a B&M Giga.